Hi, friends. How are you today? Happy Friday. It's Friday and we're all relaxing. My name is Peggy Noe. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here with my little Yorkshire Terrier, Ellie, on this warm Friday afternoon. Let me check now to make sure that we're live. There we go. Okay. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining today. Welcome, welcome. How has your week been? We have had a busy week, and it's nice to have the weekend coming up. And here in San Diego, hello, Pam. Good to see you. Here in northern San Diego County, it was almost 100 today. Whew. It's still warm. It's still in the 90s. It's 4 o'clock here. But hi, Roz. Good to see you. Yeah, so very warm. Is it warm in Florida for you, Roz? Hello, Tina from North Carolina. Good to see you guys. Yes, hi, friends. A lot of rain in Connecticut. Hi, Carol. That's wonderful. She is kind of tired. It's so warm. Georgia, good to see you. Yeah, it's so warm today. It's just everybody's just kind of, you know, just, I mean, all of a sudden it's like close to 100. Not in San Diego proper. Oh, Roz is melting in Florida too. Okay. Well, in downtown San Diego, where the beach is, it's much warmer. It's probably in the high 70s today. But up here, we're in the north, kind of northeast and of the county, and it gets very warm. So usually not quite this warm. They said it's about 10 degrees warmer than normal for here for this time of year. But we're enjoying it because it was very cloudy the past few weeks. So we're thankful. And how are you guys doing? You stayed in your craft room, right? I know that's where I am. It's just staying in the craft room, just hanging out in the cool. You have to when it's so warm. So, the new catalog went live. Have you guys been playing with new catalog products? I know you're all great stampers, and I'm just wondering, have you been doing that? That's what I've been doing. Lori Mantovi, good to see you. Rainy and 58 in New York. Oh boy. Linda, Pennsylvania, raining all day and 53. Okay, you guys are about the same. Wow. Yeah, I know. I saw that you guys were having a storm. I'm going to switch her over to this side and see if she'll look a little more spunky. Spunky. She has to get ready for her birthday next week. On Wednesday is her birthday. So I'm very excited. She was born in 2013 and her birthday is on the 14th. So she's 13. She'll be 13 on Wednesday. You know me, not that great with numbers. My head just doesn't compute numbers that well. So anyway, she's precious. So let's talk about some news. We did mention the new catalog. I hope you guys are all enjoying new catalog product and able to use it and play with it. You can order it. You can get your rewards, your great rewards points. And we all love that. I spent a bunch of my rewards the other day. Have you guys done that? Have you earned some rewards and used them? You earn them one time when you shop and you can spend them the next time or save them up. So just wondering if you guys have been using any rewards, because I had a great time using my rewards. Okay, so I mentioned last week that I've joined a group of demonstrators. I'll show their pictures. They're so cute. And we are doing, and I think a lot of people I've noticed are doing tutorials. We're called the Paper Craft Collective. Hello, Tracy. Good to see you. And we are doing video tutorials as a bundle for you, for all of our customers and friends. Oh yes, Pam and Tina are spending those rewards. We love them. So we have a tutorial bundle. 7 of us made special cards and made video tutorials regarding the Cheers and Sips bundle, using that bundle and the suite, really. And you can buy that for $20 in my online, hello Holly, in my online tutorial shop on my website, prettypapercards.com. But also, if you spend $50 in my online shop, prettypapercards.com/shop, if you spend $50, I will send you the tutorial bundle for free. So it's really neat. We had a little meeting together, a little Zoom meeting together today, all of us designers, and everybody's very excited about our tutorial bundle. It's being very well received, so I hope you can get one. More news, the starter kit special for May, fabulous special, $165 in product for only $99. It's a huge bargain. $66 free product. I'm going to put Ellie down. She wants to get in her bed and take a nap. So if you have never gotten the starter kit, it's a wonderful time to get it. $66 free product of your choice. You pay $99. You get 20% off every Stampin' Up! Product from that point on. Hello, Jeannie. Good to see you. For 3 months, a full quarter, but if you join now, if you get the starter kit now, you're good till October 31st of this year. You can buy all the products for 20% off, and that includes, hello, Nancy. One good reason to get the starter kit now is that you'll stay a demonstrator until October 31st, unless you buy or sell $300 in product in that time. But during that time, the debut of the holiday catalog. So you'll want to get 20% off everything in the holiday catalog. So it's a great time to join. You be part of my Sweet Stampers group. I love my demonstrators. They're all precious, and I would love to have you. And for this, I have a link above for Facebook, down below for YouTube, prettypapercards.com/join. And I would be oh so excited to have you as part of my team. And then the last bit of news is that I have a new Faith Creations class to go that is pre-ordering right now. And I'll show you the cards. My Faith Creations class uses Stampin' Up! Product, and this time I'm using the Impressions of Bloom. Let me get it so that you can see it. The Impressions of Bloom bundle. And all the cards will be made with this bundle, but what I do is I add Bible verses, scripture verses, and I print them out for you and design the cards, and then you can make the cards with Bible verses, or you can use the sentiments on the stamp set. So I'll show you the cards real quick. Nobody else gets to see the full cards except you guys. Everybody else gets just a snippet. So there are 3 cards. I've designed 3 different cards using this beautiful bundle. It's an online exclusive if you're wondering about it. And here's the first card. I try to make some fun folds, and the Bible verse starts on the front and then it finishes on the inside of the back. And then this might be my favorite because the paper that's being used is the paper in this suite, and it's so beautiful, and you get some paper with your kit. And that is the second one, a slimline, and you get envelopes with all these, including slimline envelopes. And here's the third design. You'll make 2 of each design, and this one has a fun little pop-up right here with part of the verse on the front and the rest in the center. And then it also is a full card. I'll move my finger so you can see it. So those are the 3 designs, and you'll get everything to make all these 6 cards, 2 each of each design. And you get the Floral Impressions Designer Series paper. You get a half a pack. You get a lot. Half a pack. I had to look down to confirm. And you get some Pretty in Pink and Strawberry Slush gems, and you get some ribbon, And all of that for $45, and that includes shipping. So email me, Peggy at prettypapercards.com, and let me know that you're interested in my Faith Creations class for May. And it's focusing on thankfulness. It seems like a time to be thankful. So thank you so much, Roz. Card number 1 is your favorite, Georgia. I love designing these cards. I really do. And I like to focus on one thing, and so this month I focused on thankfulness, and the stamp set itself has some actual stamps about being thankful, so that's why I'm focusing on that. So let me know if you're interested. Pre-order ends Monday. Colleen likes the 3rd one. Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific is the last opportunity to pre-order, so email me and I'll give you a registration and payment link. So what are we going to do today? I have a fun fold card for you today, and I'm going to turn you down. So let's do this. Now, I have to say, one of my lights just went out when I just came on. And so I think we can see well enough, but I'm going to have to order a new one this weekend. So this is the card we're going to make. And it's a fun fold. It may be called a gatefold. I couldn't really remember, but I love making these cards with this little, the half at the bottom. I think it is gate. Maybe it's a Dutch door. It's kind of like an old-fashioned Dutch door. And it has the panel on the front. And I wanted to use some Blackberry Bliss. We don't use that so much anymore. And I'm still using, hi Marcia, good to see you from Wisconsin. We're using the Sweet Blooms bundle. We used that on Wednesday and made a card. And I just felt like using it again because it's so beautiful. And the paper, oh my gosh, the Florals in Bloom paper is so gorgeous. So I wanted to use this purple sheet. Isn't this just so pretty? And I hadn't had a chance to use this sheet. Thank you, Colleen. And I thought, I've got to make a card with this, because it's so pretty. So we're using Blackberry Bliss, and the other color in the Designer Series paper, that is Bubble Bath. So it's a combination of actually also Garden Green. So these are the inks we're using, and the colors we're using: Blackberry Bliss, Garden Green, and Bubble Bath. So let's get started, and I'm going to show you how to make this card. So I'm going to get out my paper trimmer so that I can show you. To make it, you start with an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock. This is Blackberry Bliss, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. Now, there are a lot of measurements, so if you want to write them down, I don't make tutorials except for my classes to go. The Faith Creations I just told you about, that has a full tutorial PDF and a video, but for these I don't. So if you want the measurements, get a paper and pencil, because there are quite a few, or a pen, or a Stampin' Write marker. You can use whatever you want. Okay, so we're going to score at 4 1/4, and then what we're going to do, let me move this, I have to move something over so I can see all the measurements. So what we're going to do is, on that score line, I haven't moved the card, I'm going to bring up my cutting blade, and we're going to cut down 3 inches, okay? Right to the 3-inch mark. And you can see, let me get my glasses on. You can see that I've put a little 1/4 inch strip of cardstock underneath the measurements so that I can see them. So I'm going to come down to the 3-inch mark right there. Okay, and then what we do is, I'm actually going to turn it over, because I know I came down 3 inches. So I'm going to put this side to the 3-inch mark, and then I'm going to come down to that cut that we just made, and you can kind of feel it there. Let me check. It's got just a hair to go. Okay, you feel it, and there it is. We just cut that off. Hello, Hilda. So now we have our card. This is the way the card starts. And let me get my bone folder, because what I want to do is make sure, because this is a bit of a small piece, it's dark so you can't really see it, right? I want to make sure it's touching the bottom and the right hand corner. And then I'm going to hold it there and really use my bone folder right there to really, really burnish that line. So that is our card base, just like that. And now we're going to decorate. We're going to just do lots of layering today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a piece of bubble bath on the inside, and this is cut just a 1/4 inch in from the outside, so it's 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to just leave it here until we cut our other piece that goes inside. And we're going to use, I've got several pieces here. So we're going to use the full sheet, and this is going to be cut at 3 3/4 by 5. So 3 3/4. We'll just bring that down by 5. I'm not cutting everything, but the designer series paper I'm cutting with you so you can see. Okay. So now we're ready to put this on like that, and I'm going to just glue it all together. Yes, this will be the prize for next Friday. So if you put the word prize, you'll get, if you win, you'll get this card. So we're going to just layer this up. I love doing layers. I think it's so pretty, and it makes the card nice and sturdy and firm. Look at how beautiful that looks with that bubble bath. And to know the colors, I just went, you know how you just look on the backing piece of lightweight cardboard that's at the back of your designer series paper pack, and that's how you know the colors. Or you can find them online on the store, the Stampin' Up! Online website, and you look up that paper, that designer series paper, you look up the name, and you cursor down, and it has all the colors. Okay, now the one final thing we need to do, we have a little piece that goes inside so that someone could write in there. And that's going to be right like that. We're going to go ahead and glue that down. We may stamp it if we have time at the end with a little leaf or something. But we need to give the people a little place to write. So we're just going to glue that in, and then our inside is completely finished, except for a little stamp or something else we might want to put in there. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do this panel. And this panel is, we're going to put a piece of bubble bath. Let me get that. And then we're going to, then we have a white piece. I thought I had a white piece here. Okay. Here it is. I know. Okay, so the bubble bath piece for this area is 2 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And then we're going to do some embossing, because we need, rather than using more designer series paper, we're going to do a little embossing and adding a little color with a blending brush onto the embossing. That's what is going to make this so pretty. So we're gluing down our bubble bath piece. And now we're going to have a white piece that is going to be 2 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to get my big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine that I call Mr. Smooth. And we're going to use the Damask Designs embossing folder. And here's my piece of basic white, again 2 by 3 3/4. And I think actually, because I want these little designs to go this way, I want them to, this is the way my piece is facing, and I want the designs to go up and down. So I'm going to put it this way. And then we'll just close that. Now this is not a 3D embossing folder. So here's something you have to know. If you don't have a 3D embossing folder, then you use plates 1 and 2. You put in your embossing folder, and then you use plate 4, the gray plate. If it's not a 3D, if it's a 3D, thanks, Colleen. If it's a 3D, you do not use plate 2. And it tells it. It says all of that right on here. It's upside down, but it says all of that right on that base plate there for you, so you don't have to guess. But I always like to remind you, because sometimes I even forget, you know, is it a 3D embossing folder or not? Okay, and there, can you see how pretty that is? I love this embossing folder. It's in the new catalog. It's called Damask. And I just, isn't it just so pretty? Okay, now what we're going to do here is we're going to do a little blending. So I've got this little bit of grid paper, and I'm going to use some Blackberry Bliss ink, and I'm going to get my blending brush. This is one of the small blending brushes, and we're just going to blend this. We're going to blend the ink on it, just like this. Start outside the paper and move in, and then you get a better look. On my sample card, on my sample card, I didn't start on the outside, and it's not this pretty. I didn't do my blending well. I get excited sometimes. I just want to go for it, you know. But to get a nice look, you have to start on the outside and move in. Now, what we could do if we wanted, let me show you the difference. Here is the sample card, and do you see how dark I got it? I got it very dark. This one, I wanted to try it being a little bit lighter. So I think we're going to leave it just like that, just to be a little bit different. Hello, Michelle. Good to see you. So we're done with our blending, and now we can go ahead and adhere this to the card. So we can just put this right on like that. Doesn't that look nice? I love this embossing folder. I may turn that part up. Let's see. Well, it really doesn't matter. You know, you get pretty picky. I think, oh, does it go, do I want it up or down? But I think we'll just go ahead and do this. So there's our little piece. And that's that layer. All right, now we're going to make the standing up layer. And I've got these two pieces. This is Blackberry Bliss, and it's cut at 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And this is Bubble Bath, a lot of bees, and it's cut at 2 1/2 by 4. Okay, so we can go ahead and put all of these on, both of these together rather. And we'll just do this, and then we're going to cut a piece of designer series paper to go on top. These colors look so pretty together. Okay, now I saved aside a smaller piece of the designer series paper because I have something in mind, and here's what I have in mind. For this piece, for the part that goes on here, it's going to be the main focus of the card. Yes, they're beautiful colors. I kind of want this. I want these flowers to show and kind of be at the top of that piece. So this piece is supposed to be 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. So first I'm going to cut the two, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. Let's see. I think I'm going to cut the 2 1/4 first, and I'm going to try, I want you to be able to see it. I want to focus on this section. So I'm going to cut to the right of that section to make sure that I get that little trio of pretty flowers. Okay. And then I'm going to go turn it this way, and I'm going to measure, let's see, 2 1/4 right there. And that will get that little trio of flowers right where I want them. Okay, so I've got my trio of flowers. Now I want it to be 3 3/4. And again, I want this to be kind of at the top of my piece. So I'm going to cut it that way, right there. Now I can go down 3 3/4. Just like that. And now I've gotten the area that I want on the piece, and it's 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. And let's make sure it fits. Perfect. Isn't that pretty when you highlight, focus on a certain area of the designer series paper and just get that right where you want it? I like it. I wanted the Blackberry Bliss to really show because that's kind of our main color here. Okay, so we're going to put this on. And that is our last panel. And that is going to go right on top like that. Magical. Yes, magical. You just have to concentrate a little bit to get what you want right there in focus. So now what we're going to do is we're going to adhere this top panel with dimensionals. And what we're going to do, I want to make sure to get it in the center, an equal distance from the sides and the top and the bottom. And we can only put dimensionals down here, right? Because we need to be able to open the card. So here's what I'm going to do. I want it to be secure also, because probably people might pull the card. So let's kind of confirm again, maybe right about here. So I think we want to be pretty careful because we want to make sure it's all, I think that should work just fine. Okay, let's take these off. We'll see if we put our dimensionals in the correct place. Now again, we're going to center it from side to side and top to bottom and press down. And yay, we did it! Nothing's showing. That's always my fears. I think I'll turn it and okay, Georgia. And there, I'm always thinking, oh no, I put a dimensional up there, but we did it. And it covers the little white piece down here. So now all we have to do is decorate. Not have to do, we get to do. So what I've done is I've already cut some pieces out of the designer series paper. I wanted to go ahead and cut a few pieces. I have the other stamp set that has the flowers on it, but I don't have the dies, so I just fussy cut some flowers out from the paper. And we're going to use these, and then we're going to stamp a sentiment from the stamp set, and we're going to stamp it on this piece right here in Blackberry Bliss, again, our kind of main color. And I want to show you something. I love this sentiment, and I'll show you why. It says, "You make me smile," and look at that beautiful font. Isn't that so pretty? It's the same font as Lovely and Bloom. Everything else is printed, but I just love that font, and I wanted to use it. So we're just gonna, it's just a gorgeous sentiment. Look how pretty that is. Okay. Now I'm just gonna do what you know how I like to do this. I looked at different dies to see if I wanted to cut it with a label die, and I just wanted to, I prefer to do this. Especially, I think it really highlights the sentiment and shows off the beautiful font. So I'm just going to cut around it, and it only takes a second. Just leave about a 1/16 of an inch of white around the letters, and you're good to go. Just cut that off. Sometimes you need to cut a bit off. Which ones of you, let me know which ones of you like to do this and which ones like to use a die. I know people who like to fussy cut probably are willing to cut around their sentiment, but I think a lot of people prefer to use dies. And I wanted to just, no, I guess that's good. Okay. Out of the way. Well, where did it go? Okay. I'd like to know if you prefer to use a label die or you prefer to fussy cut around your words. I'm curious. Okay, so now we're going to put our sentiment on, and I'm going to adhere it with a dimensional on the right side, and then we're going to put the flowers underneath. And I want to make sure to leave these gorgeous, depends on your mood, Tracy. Okay, Beth likes dies. Okay. So I just put one dimensional right there. And then what we're going to do is use some glue, and we're just going to go ahead and glue these little flowers wherever our little hearts desire. Just to continue the Blackberry Bliss floral look. And I don't really want to cover up the flowers that we worked so hard to get in there. So we're just going to add more. More is always better. That's my policy. More shopping, more purses, more stamps. What do you think? Roz has no preference. Okay. So I think I'll have, oh, you know what we were going to do? One more thing I forgot we're going to do about decorating. I forgot one more thing. I'm going to stamp. I have this piece of paper. I forgot I was going to stamp the flowers and the stems from this set. We took a look at these the other day, but I'm just going to, we can add this also. I forgot I was going to add that. And we're going to use the die to cut it out. And we're going to use some, that's garden green, and this is bubble bath. We'll add some flowers here. And this is, I like this. This is a really fun one. You just position the flowers right on the top of the stems. Just like that. Isn't that kind of cute? Yes, we could definitely do that. Great idea, Georgia. Okay, so now I have that flower, and I'm going to get my die cutting machine back up here so that we can cut it with the die that it goes with. Here we go. Get all of our plates organized, and the die for this one from the die set is this die right here. So we'll just put it right on there, and it fits really well. I noticed that when I did it, when I cut it for the sample, it really fits very well. Okay, that looks good. And then we'll put it through. And that just gives us even more. You know, you can add as much as you want for decorating. I tried some ribbon, but I felt like it, because you know I love ribbon and bows, but I felt like it took away from the beauty of these flowers. Okay, so here's this little stamped piece. Isn't that kind of cute? And we can have that sticking out. So let's get our glue back. I'll just put a little glue down there. And that way this can kind of come off to the side. There we go. I wanted to leave that flower showing as much as possible. We might tuck another flower down in there. Again, I just cut these flowers. I just fussy cut them from the designer series paper. And there may be a die in the other die set that will cut them. I don't know, because I don't have it yet. I need to get that die set. And then we'll just put, I thought this was a really pretty leaf, and we'll just stick that under like that. We'll let it dry for 1 second. And now we might put a little, let's add a little leaf. There's another leaf in this set, stamp set. It's a small, cute little leaf. And we'll just open our card. I normally would stamp before I adhered this piece, but it's okay. I wanted to make sure to get that piece on in the right place. So that little leaf looks kind of cute. And then let's grab our envelope, and we'll add a few leaves onto our envelope. Like right over here. You know, we could do something, we actually could do something different. Oh, I always do that. I get a little ink on my fingernail. I hate when I do that. And then it gets on the envelope. Anyway, that's pretty cute. That just really finishes off the card and the envelope. Michelle Tro, good to see you. Tammy Ho, good to see you. So there we go. There's your fun fold card made out of the gorgeous, gorgeous Florals in Bloom Designer Series paper and the Sweet Blooms bundle. So cute. This paper, I'm having so much fun with this paper. And this card will be the prize for next Friday if you put the word prize. And let's come back up now. There you are. It was a fun card to make. I love it. I love flowers and I love those colors. Beautiful paper, gorgeous paper. Okay, so the prize for today is the card that we made last week, and that was a fun fold too. This was a different one that I had never made before, and it opened like this, and then it has this little panel that drops down. So if you didn't see this and you want to know how to make it, go back to last week's video in YouTube and you can find it. And then it closes up. It closes up like this. Actually, you're just supposed to close the sides and then put the panel right down over it, just like that. Isn't that a fun card? Okay, so the winner of this card from last week is Vicki Eakins. Congratulations, Vicki. Thank you for watching. I so appreciate you guys for watching and joining in my fun with stamping and Stampin' Up! Products. So Vicki, I have your address and I'll get this out to you. Thank you so much. And don't forget about my Faith Creations class, the class to go. Monday is the last day to order that. And just email me, Peggy@prettypapercards.com, and I'll get you all set up with that Faith Creations class. It's a beautiful one. And it's all on thankfulness. So if you didn't tune in the beginning, it's about thankfulness. Okay, you guys, have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next week. Stay cool, stay warm, stay out of the rain.